Hello, congratulations on the purchase of your Flagstaff. My name is Russ. I'm going to do an orientation video with you today. We're going to start right here in the front with your electric tongue jack. So you have your light right here, and then up and down with these arrows here. If this were to fail for any reason, you can remove this cap right here. There is a tool in your front compartment where you can manually crank this up or down. You do have two 30-pound propane tanks and your regulator right here. So this green dot is pointing towards the tank that you're using. So this tank goes empty. Just give this a turn, open this tank, and then you can fill this tank while you're using that tank. Your battery's right here. You can always add a second battery if you need to. Storage compartment, you have your power cord, 25-foot power cord. You have a table in there to put next to your grill on the outside. Some hoses come with it, and you do have a grill back there, and there is a mount for your grill right here, and I'll show you where that goes here in just a minute. Right down here are your wastewater tanks. So you do have a black and a gray. So this is your gray, this is your black. So you're gonna hook your wastewater hose up, pull that black first, let that empty out, that's your toilet. And then you're going to pull the gray, that's your dirty sink and shower, that's going to help wash the black out of your hose. Once they're both empty, close the gray, leave that black open. Then you're going to hook a hose up to your black tank flush. Hose hooks up right here. Turn it on, it's like an upside down sprinkler system in your black tank. So let that run for a few minutes. Clean that black tank out. Once you're satisfied with that, unhook that garden hose, close your black handle, put your cap back on, and you're all set with that. Right here is where you're going to hook up the hose for full hookup camping. So you hook a garden hose up to that, and then you have pressurized water going throughout your camper. You have an outdoor shower right here, so that's a shower wand with hot and cold water. If you use your freshwater tank, you're going to drain it right from here. So just open that valve, take this cap off, open that valve. That will drain your freshwater tank. And then you have low point drains right there. The red and the blue, that's your hot and cold. Lowest point in your water system. So if you need to empty the water out of your lines inside, just take the caps off there, and that will drain that water out. Right back here is where you're going to hook your 30 amp power cord. If you're hooked up to shore power at the park, I highly recommend to use a 30 amp surge guard. Help protect your camper from all those surges. And then you do have input for cable and satellite back here. You can store your wastewater hose right in your bumper. License plate will go there. You do have a spare tire on here, same size as the tires that are on it. And then a ladder so you can get up there and do your maintenance. Back here you do have electric stabilizers. So here's your switch for the rears. So just hold them down until they're all the way down. Once they hit the ground, give them a little bit of pressure. Helps keep it from bouncing around inside while you're walking around. These are for stabilizing only, not for leveling. So get the camper level first, and then put the stabilizers down. You do have an electric awning on here. A couple lights as you can see. Outdoor speakers. And this is a vent that goes over your stove top. So if you want to use that, just move these little clips here. That way this flap will open up. So it'll vent outside for you. If you're not using your vent over your stove, just close this up, and that will keep the bugs out. Right here is your furnace vents. Try not to block that, and do not put anything in front of it that could melt, because that will melt even a plastic table. This is an output for antenna, cable, or satellite. So if you want a TV outside, you can have one hooked up here. There's a couple plugs. This is your refrigerator vent. Nothing you really have to do with that. And this is where you're going to fill your freshwater tank. So if you're rustic camping, fill that freshwater tank right there, and then you will turn your water pump on, and that's how you get your water pressure, and it's going to draw from this freshwater tank. Right here is where you're going to hook your grill up to, or that table. And quick connect propane line right here. Pulls out, you can connect it right to your grill, and that goes to your propane tanks up in the front. This is your water heater. Your water heater is gas or electric. You have a metal tank, so instead of your tank corroding, you have this anode rod. This is going to corrode, and it's corroded a little bit, but this is still good for probably a couple years. So every 3 years or so, you'll have to replace this. but this is your plug. It's going to go right in there. Put it in there, tighten it up. Then you can hook your water up and start filling your water heater. You want to make sure your water heater is full before you turn it on. One way to do that is to pull on this relief valve. As long as you get a solid stream of water coming out, you know that it's full. You can also turn the hot side on any sink inside. And as long as you get a solid stream of water coming out of the faucet, you know your water heater's full and you're ready to turn it on. There's a switch right down here. It's on off switch right there. That will turn the electric portion of your water heater on. There's a switch on your control panel inside to turn the gas portion on. This is electronic ignite, so all you have to do is make sure your plug's in, make sure your water heater's full, and then you can turn it on and it'll do everything on its own. If you need to drain your water heater, just take this plug out and it will drain right from here. You do have storage right here. It does lock. This will latch your door, so it's going to hook right here so you can have your door open without the wind slamming it closed. And then you have your front stabilizer switch right here, extend and retract. Same thing, you want to make sure you're level and then put those stabilizers down. And I believe that is everything on the outside, so we'll head inside next. Okay, just inside your door is your control panel. So right up here, I don't know how well you can see it. It says battery fresh, black and gray. There's little buttons here. Push on those and it shows how full your tanks are. So as your tanks fill, these lights will light up right here. Right here this says water pump. So if you use your freshwater tank, just turn your water pump on and you'll have water pressure. This is water heater. So this is the gas portion of your water heater. Just flip that switch on once you have water in it if you want to run it off gas. This is tank heater. So you have a heater around your freshwater tank. So if you're a late season camper and you're afraid your tank might freeze, just turn that on. It's like a heating pad on your freshwater tank. Down below that you have slide, and awning. So you just push the button, hold it down till your slide is all the way in or all the way out. You'll hear that noise once it's all the way out. So same thing, this is your living room slide. The one next to it is for your bedroom slide. And then you have your awning. So your awning, same thing with your awning. Hold that button down till your awning is all the way in or all the way out. Down below that you have a step light, porch light, off door side floodlight, door side floodlight, aisle light, and this optional light, which is that light right there. So you have all these on. And that is all of your control panel. I know it's kind of hard to see. My shadow's in the way. You do have a fire extinguisher by the door. Your rocking chair is there. Notice that your rocking chair is kind of pushed back and pushed over. That way your slide doesn't hit your rocking chair when you bring it in. So you do want to be careful of that. So watch furniture in the way. You have your table and chairs. So this does come out. This pulls out, lift it up, push back in. And now you have an extension on your table. This is something you do want to make sure is in the down position before you bring your slide in as well, just in case it hits your island. Your chairs have storage underneath them. You do have these lights, push button lights. A lot of push button lights throughout, so they all have little switches on them. Your couch does go into a bed. So what you're going to do is kind of pull toward on the back, but you have to also move these cushions out of the way as you're pulling. So pull them out a little bit. So it's going to look like that, and then you're going to pull this out, bring these legs out. So legs on both sides, and then you have your bed like this. There's an air mattress in here, so unzip that, and then you can roll that air mattress out and blow it up. And putting it back is just the opposite way, of course. Just like that. So nice and easy to do. Then you have an extra bed for somebody. Up here you have your stereo. Find a station on here. Alright, So you have these speaker zones here. A, you push A to turn, let me focus this in. So this is A, B, and C. A is inside speakers. C is outside speakers. I don't hear B doing anything, which tells me that there's nothing hooked to the B part. So you have indoor and outdoor, A and C. A nice stereo here. It is CD player, DVD player. And then your TV below that. See if this pulls out. It does not. All right. Right down here is your hookups. So this green light that's on right here, there's a button right next to it. You can turn that green light on or off. That green light is your antenna booster. So you want to make sure that's on if you want local channels. If you're connected with cable or satellite, you do need to have that off. But it must be on for local channels for your antenna to work. Your antenna is right here. So you can crank it up and down. Just make sure you bring it down before you travel. Air conditioners here. You have the ends and the sides you can open up. It will dump the air down in this area to cool it off quicker. Otherwise, you close these up, you have more pressure through your vents. All the vents in the ceiling are for your air conditioner. Any vents you see along the floor are going to be for your furnace. You have a standard turntable microwave. You do have a fan and light here. So make sure that's open on the outside, that vent outside, so it can vent out. Spot for knives back here. And then this lid right here, it folds towards you in half. Now you have a backsplash there. And then you can light your stovetop. Put on light. Use your igniter here. Turn it to the right until your stovetop lights up. This does have arrows on it, so turn it to the right only. If you turn that to the left, you're going to break it. So that works with those. Your oven you'll have to light manually still. So put it on pilot, hold that button in, and then take matches or lighter down here and light that up. When you bring your lid down, you have to lift it up first. Lift it up and then it will fold down. If you don't lift it up, you just pull it, it's going to end up bending your lid. So be very careful of that. GFI plug here. Your keys are on your sink. That's where they'll be when you pick up. Alright, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Right here, this is your carbon monoxide LP detector. As long as that green light's on, you're good to go there. Then you have your fuses and your breakers here. Regular car style fuses and breakers, and everything is labeled. If a fuse were to go out, an LED light will light up next to the bad fuse, so you can quickly identify it. Otherwise, you can see that they're labeled. You have your thermostat right here. So you decide between air, fan, off, or heat. Set your fan speed, and then your temperature right here. Your shower, you have this latch for travel. That way the door won't fly open on you. And then your toilet is a foot pedal flush. So halfway down brings water in, all the way down will flush it. Another GFI plug there. And you do have a fan up here. So to open that up, just crank it. And then you have your fan speeds right here. And right here there's a little glass fuse in here, so if this stops working, that's the first thing I would check. So you can turn that off. It will automatically turn off once you close the lid. So you do want to make sure you close this before you travel. Otherwise the wind will catch hold of that and you could lose that lid. You have light switches right inside the door here. And then into your bedroom area, you have more push button lights up there. You have some storage underneath the bed with some drawers, and you can lift this up. Access the outside where the door is out there, where your grill is. You can access that spot right there as well. Spot for a TV right here. Normally people just set it right on the countertop there. Then when you get ready to travel, set it on the bed or somewhere safe. Another vent here. This one has a max air cover over it. So if it's raining, it won't rain inside with this open. And you can leave this up if you wanted to while you're traveling, and the wind will not rip that lid off, so that's nice. I believe that is everything in here. I think I covered everything in here, so hopefully this video helps. If you have questions when you come pick up, just let us know. We'll be happy to answer them then. We do appreciate your business, and congratulations.